My boss shorted me $75, so I made sure he paid for it. Back in college, I worked at this tiny burger joint downtown. The owner, Tony, was one of those guys who bragged constantly about being self-made, but couldn't figure out how to fix a broken fryer. He was always talking about grind set and loyalty, but would lose his mind if someone used too many napkins. Anyway, the deal at this place was simple. If you worked a weekend double, you got a $25 cash bonus. Nothing crazy, but it helped. After a while, Tony started asking me to cover more shifts, saying I was his reliable guy. One Friday night, he cornered me right before closing. "Hey kid, any chance you can cover Saturday and Sunday doubles? My niece's wedding is this weekend. I'll make it worth your while, $75 extra." I said sure. I was already behind on rent and figured I could tough it out. That weekend was brutal. Both days were slammed. Grill broke twice, the AC was out, and Tony's lazy cousin, who was supposed to manage, spent most of the shift outside vaping. I did everything. Cooked, cleaned, handled customers, ran the register. 14 hours Saturday, 13 Sunday. Come Monday, I asked Tony about the extra $75. He smirked. "What extra $75? I reminded him about our conversation. He waved a hand. "You must have misheard. I said 75 total for the weekend bonus, not 75 extra. I pulled out my phone. I'd texted him when I agreed to work. The message literally said, "Sure thing, Tony. I'll cover both doubles this weekend for $75 extra." He looked at it, shrugged, and said, "Typos happen," then handed me an envelope with $35 inside. That was the moment I decided Tony was going to learn a very valuable lesson about typos. Tony was obsessive about two things, his truck and his inventory sheets. He parked his shiny red F-150 right out front every day so everyone could see what hard work gets you. He also insisted we record every item used, down to single ketchup packets, because he was paranoid about employee theft, so I got creative. Every night that week, I adjusted the count on random low-cost items, buns, pickles, straws, just enough to throw the numbers off. Nothing big, just 2 or 3 here and there, but I always balanced it out perfectly on paper, so it looked like Tony himself was the one messing up the math. By Friday, he was losing it. "Who keeps screwing with my inventory? I'm missing 5 sleeves of cups." Then came Saturday, the real payoff. I came in early and saw Tony outside bragging to a delivery guy about his truck. I waited until he went back inside, then quietly moved his truck 1 block down into a no parking zone. Didn't even have to take the keys. He always left it unlocked with the spare in the glove box because, and I quote, "Who's gonna mess with Tony?" By noon, he was pacing around the kitchen, muttering, "Didn't I park right out front?" An hour later, a parking officer came in, asking if anyone knew whose red F-150 was blocking a loading dock. Tony's face went pale. He sprinted outside and came back fuming. $250 ticket on his windshield. The next few days were chaos. Tony double-checked every inventory log, installed new cameras, and started parking behind the building for security. The cameras, by the way, pointed directly at his own truck, not the cash register, not the back door. He basically spent his entire day watching live footage of his vehicle like it was Fort Knox. I quit 2 weeks later when I found a better-paying job at a local record shop. On my last day, Tony actually said, "You know, you were one of my most trustworthy employees." I smiled and told him, "Typos happen, boss." And every time I drive past that burger joint and see him sitting in his truck, staring suspiciously at everyone who walks by, I can't help but grin.